Hello and welcome back to another video. So this is a redesign only. I haven't left in any filing etc. It is just a quick one, and I've left the big this open just so you can see. Spilt my glitter already, that's normal, and I'm just getting ready to do the clear layer, so just wiping it over. This is a beautiful pink set. This is her third redesign. We're going to go for one more, and then she's having a lovely black set on, and then after that set she's going to have a brand new set for Christmas. So just wiped over with Prep Spray Plus, and I've now come in with my brush on Dehydrator, picked up a small bead of crystal glass from CJP, making sure that dehydrator is dry first. That isn't lifting, by the way, on that nail. It is white acrylic. Just need to point that out. So yeah, I've done all my prep work, etc. And I thought I'd get this video uploaded quickly today. I've only got one set in today, which is later, which will either be infills or redesigns. So I'm going to film that one, regardless of what she has. I'm going to film the takedown and redesign, but on this one you can see all those lovely colours under there. So on this she wanted Tooth Fairy. So here's a big tip: if you have your CJP colours swatched on a stick, when you get to the bottom near the pot, take that bloody stick off, because what happens is you end up with a tiny bit of Tooth Fairy left. So I'm trying my hardest to make this Tooth Fairy colour stretch to do the whole set. So there are places it could have been done with being a little bit drier, but I was trying to maximise how much I could get out of the pot. I only just did it. So on this little finger, this pinky, which is pink, little joke there for today, I'm doing a thin layer, and in hindsight, which is the whole reason I'm doing these videos, I should have worked a little bit drier and pressed and patted it down. But I usually find the first finger is always the hardest for me, because that's the one where you're figuring out whether it's a painter or a presser. That's what I call them. So a pigment that's very pigmented, some of them you can put them on, you can just paint it on like gel polish, and on others you have to sort of pat and press it a little bit more, work a little bit drier. So this is a patter, most definitely. You live and learn. So anyway, I wanted to leave this set on, not because it's the best set I've ever done, but because I wanted to point out to you that no matter where you are in your nail journey, some people's nails are just harder than others. They are. That is the truth. Every single client is different. So yeah, just showing you, moving my stuff around, because I realised I'd got my stuff in the wrong place. So I was moving my clear to the back, so that if I drop clear in the Amor, which is what pink is, that'll be fine. But if I did it the other way, it'd be a little bit more difficult. So we're doing a marble. So I'm going in first with a bead of white and a bead of Amor from CJP. And I'm just literally just getting those two at the cuticle first, just to make sure that bit's nice and neat, and then I can come in with my beads. Now the trick to marbling, or what I do, is work very wet. You want it to run, but small amounts, and then just drag up and down, up and down. I got this tip from Kylie Werry. This works best for me for marbling. And then I just pick them up in different order, and then up and down, up and down. There you go. And don't play with it too much, because if you play, it's going to be a mush. However, we are putting glitter on the top of this, so it didn't you know, I didn't need to be perfect with my marbling. I just wanted the different colours in the background there. So just add in a couple of bits in there. And your marble will look lumpy and bumpy. It's fine. Once you cap it, it's not a problem. I'm then coming in with baby pink glitter from the Glitter Fairy. I had this one a while. My client went through the folder, found it and said that's what I want. So what I'm doing is I'm just trying to get it across one of those lines of marble. So I try and do it in the same direction that my marble is done. And you want the little pieces. So this doesn't work so well with a chunky cut glitter. But if you've got a multi-cut, you can sometimes move those bigger bits out the way to get the smaller bits. So on the middle, we are doing a base of Amor just at that top bit, because this is going to be a full glitter nail. I will say, baby pink glitter, it's a multi-cut, it does cover very nicely, so you may not need that Amor. It was just because it had got a little bit of colour on there, I wanted to make sure that was covered. So again, tiny bead of acrylic. I'm using the one monomer, so you know that you can play with it for as long as you like, and then it will set quickly once you've got it on there. So tiny bead into the raw glitter, wiggle it about, and then just play with it until you get it on that coverage. This was my favourite nail on this hand, just because of the shaping. It was just really good, and she went a lot shorter than she normally has them. She is a ballerina fan, but obviously the shorter the nail, the less ballerina it is, which is hard. You know, I will make them thinner if people really want them thinner, but I personally don't like the look of a short ballerina. It just looks funny, so I try to avoid it. So on that index finger, we are coming in with that Tooth Fairy first, so I will remember to order another pot. So just getting that at the cuticle, because we're doing a glitter fade on this one, so I don't need as much colour at the top. And then the thumb we also did as a full pink. So look at that, I bodged it completely by pressing down on it too much. I should have just left it alone. That's what happens. This is the reality of nail tech life. So I go back in with another bead, which I could have done without wasting because I didn't have a lot of product left. And you know what it's like when you get to the bottom of that pot. If you don't pick that bead up right, it sticks to the bottom of the pot and you can't pick it up. You know, you can't work with it then. So at the top, I'm using Amor just to fade over that pink, because we're putting glitter at the top, so we didn't need it all the way up. So just getting that cuticle bead on, pressing it about, and then I'm just tapping extra bits of glitter in. I picked that bit of acrylic, that bit of glitter up, sorry, with my wet brush. I didn't pick up any more clear acrylic. I just used my wet brush because you've already got wet acrylic on there, so you just need enough to fade it down. And then on this very highly coloured set, so you can see she's had at least 3 other colours on there, so that, yeah, this is her 4th redesign. So on the thumb, bear with my camera angle, I don't know what I was faffing around at. So coming in with the Tooth Fairy halfway down this time, mainly because I wanted to see how much colour I would have left for the other hand. So I've now taken that pop stick off the rig until I order some more. But obviously with us coming up autumn, Christmas, I don't tend to use a lot of pinks, and I do have other ones that I can use instead. So if someone really wanted this colour and I needed to make a little bit more, I would probably just add some more and maybe a little bit of another pink colour to make enough to do the set. I didn't in this case. It was 4th set of the day. I only usually do 3 because I get quite tired by number 4, and couldn't be bothered is the simple answer. So I did prepare her for having maybe a glitter fade on her thumb if I didn't have enough. Hate thumbs. They are so hard to get looking nice, and I really struggled on this one, but you know, there's no point me cutting these things out. You might as well see the reality of it. You know, sometimes they don't go as nice as others, but you know, structurally it was where it needed to be, and the finished set looked lovely. So that's the main thing. And it is always harder when you're starting off with a redesign, because you haven't got that nice base. There you go, twatty bit of glitter. There we go, gone. So just capping again on these ones. Now on a couple of, I think it's on her index finger, I actually used a e-file bit to drill out underneath the nail because it was a bit too thick on the end when I finished. So, you know, you can do that. So on this one, just wetting over that glitter to make sure it's nice and shiny. And then picking up a wet bead, keep that brush angled down, tap it into the sides and let that acrylic flow down. The less you play with this clear acrylic at this point, the clearer that acrylic will be. Almost. So I just come in with another bead on that free edge and then turn my brush around and just fade it up. All good. Same on this glitter finger, wet that glitter first, helps that wet bead slide down, stops you getting little dry patches of acrylic if you tend to pick up a dry bead. Tap, 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 tap. See? So I'm just faffing with the sides really at the minute. I'm letting the acrylic fall. There you go, just tidying it up a little bit, and I needed a little bit more on that free edge. So I'll just pop it on the end and feather it back. Like so. And then wetting the glitter on that forefinger. So this is the one which, as her nails grow, she tends to get a curve on this one, so it's a little bit harder to do. So getting that clear bead on there and then tapping it down. And then because she had a little bit of a dip, sort of, you know, 2/3 of the way down, I added another bead on the end, but it meant it made it a little bit too thick on the end. So instead of filing on the top and taking away that glitter, I filed out underneath the free edge. And I think I turn her hand around to show her that I'm going to drill it out afterwards, because you know, some clients notice these things, some don't. But you know, there is a way of saving it, so I just drilled it out from underneath instead. There you go, there's me trying to feather it back a bit to thin it out a little bit. So you can see that free edge is far too thick. So not going to worry too much. Little bit up there. And then onto the thumb. So capping with the thumb. Tap, 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 swipe, tap, 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 swipe. And then using the belly of my brush to pull that acrylic down. There you go, finished set. Nice quick one. Thank you for watching. See you again soon.